Last month I ran an experiment. I wanted to see what would happen if for 30 days I tried to solve problems around the house with 3D printing. Well, the results are astonishing. It pushed me and I learned a ton about the community, about myself, and about the 3D printing world in general. So let's get into it. So as I started finding anything and everything to try to print and solve, because it wasn't just about printing things, it was about solving problems, doing useful prints, things that would actually help me along the way. The first very apparent thing that I wanted to print was, I like to get my fresh eggs. I just don't like how the cardboard boxes look on top of my counters. So I looked for an aesthetically pleasing yet useful egg holder. This one took a few hours to print, but also it took some time to take off those dreaded supports. But once I put it all together, the result was beautiful. I actually love what it looks like, and it was super useful. So I kept at it. The next thing that was absolutely driving me nuts was mason jars. Like, why? Why are they the way that they are? I don't know. But I love to use my mason jars, especially for things like matcha. I do eventually want to get into canning or making jams. I'm just not that far ahead in my trad wife journey. So I needed something specific for these dumb lids with the 3 parts. It's just 2, I guess. So I went to Maker World and tried to see what exactly it is that they would have. The first thing that I learned is that the community is amazing. And I kind of already knew it, but that people are spending time creating these things, and sure, they may be solutions for themselves, but at the same time, they're like providing these things for free. So if anywhere you find a way to support these makers or invest into anybody, like, I would totally do it. I'm always trying to boost people that I really find value in their 3D prints. So there was one instance where I was printing things for my desk and I didn't realize that I needed to measure before I started printing. What? Silly, right? So I printed out this cup holder, but the problem is that my cup holder just doesn't fit no matter what? I mean, that's very precarious. The first thing that I learned from that cup holder debacle is that I actually just needed to measure the things that I'm printing the things for. But also, I need to learn how to exactly mod things if I really like the print. And I remember that previously I tried to just stretch a 3D print, but then it would make parts like this stretch out and not fit correctly. So what I did was slice it, stretch the circle, and voila, it fits. But then I started to learn more about myself and realizing that God gave me the capability to be able to learn really fast. And not only that, but also modify the things and be able to learn the technology behind it all. In a similar vein, I wanted to print a remote holder, and I ended up printing this, which took way too long and way too much filament, but it just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And if I was paying attention, then I would realize I just needed it to be like a 2-slotted remote holder. But I really liked the look of this one. So I ended up modding this one as well. I modded it in a way that this part here I could put on just on the outside of the first 2, and I came out with this. Modifying that circular object gave me the confidence to go ahead and modify a brand new object from something that already existed. Thank you to the creator of this remote holder, and thank you for putting it out there so that I can be able to mess around with the profile and come up with my own unique solution. I then ran into another noob issue. It was also for this remote holder, but it was for the clamp for it. And twice I printed it without supports. The print profile didn't have it, but I should have realized that if something was hanging without any supports, that this was going to happen. So like, shame on me for not realizing it. But then not only that, the remote holder ended up falling. I ended up finally printing it correctly with the correct supports and not having any spaghetti issues. But then it fell off my desk and it broke. So I also learned what types of materials I should be using. For something like this that maybe is gonna hold more weight or may fall. I definitely should have printed it out in something a little stronger. Hindsight now, I probably should have used PETG. But then one day I was looking for a specific thing that I needed for my computer. I have an external SSD for my editing, and I was getting tired of the thing just flopping around and not having any support. And so I was looking for an external SSD drive holder for my laptop, something that I could stick to it. And then my husband walks around the corner and says,
"What are you doing?"
And I told him what I was doing. And he said,
"Why don't you just 3D print a solution? Aren't you doing a 30-day challenge?"
And yeah, that's what I should have done from the beginning. So I went on MakerWorld and I could find exactly what it is that I was looking for. And that's when it hit me. Not only is the community vast, so it is like shopping. Not only am I capable of modifying things that don't exactly fit my needs, but I'm also saving a ton of money by just 3D printing. In fact, in total, everything that I 3D printed saved me almost $200 the whole month, because I was just, instead of going to Amazon, instead of thinking I need to buy something else in this consumeristic world that we live in, I was just like, what can I print? What can I make? Yes, I printed things that were a little more expensive and took a little more filament and a lot many hours, but it's still something that I made and works perfectly for what I needed. So yeah, I ended up saving almost $200. So in 30 days, I ended up printing out 30 different things that I needed around the house, from the kitchen to my office to just things that I wanted to have a little fun with. But most of all practical and useful things. Not only did I get those prints done and ended up making my life a little bit better, but also realizing how great the 3D printing community is. That it's basically like shopping, because people keep putting their 3D models out there for the world to use. And God made me more than capable to be able to modify and learn. I know that I am capable of these things, and I can really get into the nitty-gritty if I really wanted to. So it pushed me out of my comfort zone to be able to think bigger. And on top of all of that, I ended up saving almost $200. What else could I ask for? Ultimately, just keep pushing yourself and look around your house and see what it is that you can print. And the maker community has things out there already. And don't forget to go out there, 3D print things, and make your home your own.